We're back here on Monday. Got my England top on. Done well in the World Cup. But we're here for facts, and we're here for tips, and we're also here for tricks. So I should get the ball rolling and let you know what these are. There's no one on the line at the moment. Oh, there's one on the air. Say hi in the chat. Let's get rolling. In the Niagara Falls, we're flowing with if the Niagara Falls were flowing with Guinness, it would take 1.2 million pints per second to keep them rolling. Glamping, you know, you have camping, there's a thing called glamping. It's like a posh version of camping, where you got like TV and stuff inside the tent. Glamping costs so I'm reading this wrong, this is spelling. Clamping, as in you can't get out. Vehicle cost London motorists more than 1 billion in 2007. Can't believe a fact thing I got here got a wrong spelling. The Grand Canyon in America is more than 277 miles long. Hi there. Aussie Glenn McCarthy dismissed England's Mike Afron 19 times in a test cricket, a world record. Some of these ones I can't read because they're basically outdated. There are 63 million mobile phones in the UK. That was back in the year 2000s and 10s. How do you think how many there are now? There are 18 million gas meters in the UK. The official death toll of the Krakatoa volcano erupted in 1883 was 36,417. There's a replica statue. Don't ask my phone. There's a replica statue of Liberty in Kosovo, as in Kosovo. The mafia announced for a project like 63 billion of Italian economy in 2007. Loch Ness Monster in Scotland contains more fresh water than all the lakes in England and Wales combined. There are only 250 guests at the first Oscar ceremony in 1929. Six US state issues learners driver permits to 14-year-olds. I bet you didn't know that. Tibetans called Mount Everest Sagarmatha, which means goddess of the sky. In 2001, a man bet his mortgage on Spurs, as Tottenham Hotspurs, beating Man United while they were 3-0 at half time. Spurs eventually lost the game 5-3. A person's IQ, this is a good one, you like this. A person's IQ peaks between the ages of 18 and 25. Daredevil, Evel Knievel, like the famous bike guy who used to do lots of jumps, broke 433 bones during his career. Roman Abramovich has spent 578 million on Chelsea Football Club since he bought the club in June 2003. Here's a tip. I have a tip for you now. When booking a summer holiday, don't expect the first price given. Don't expect the first price given to you. Go to a rival agents, like different companies, and tell them the price you have been quoted, and they'll try to beat it. Which is interesting, though, so you get it cheaper. Tip: when taking apart furniture, sellotape screws and bolts to the wood to avoid losing them. Because when you move it about, it can happen, can't it? That's that one done. What more? This is an interesting one. You might hear that a few times. Pound for a pound. Earthworms make up half of all the animal life. 300 Jimi Hendrix, it was back in the 70s this was, album have been released since his death. Wow, that's a lot. Tornadoes can last as long as 9 hours. You share your birthday with at least 9 million other people. Snails, lobsters and spiders all have blue blood. I bet you didn't know that. The Atlantic Ocean is saltier than the Pacific. A spoiled shaped part of a corkscrew is called the worm. The first belch to be heard in national radio was in 1935. Hi there, Ralph. Technically, this is interesting. Snow is considered to be a mineral. Badminton used to be called, you're going to laugh at this one, Poona, as in Poona. Yes, what badminton used to be called. Nobody won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1972. A scallop, this is going to blow your mind, this is. A scallop has 35 eyes. And all of them are blue. during the Middle Ages, you could be accused of witchcraft if your pets disobeyed you. Can you imagine that? Just technically don't own a pet. Bird droppings are the chief export of Nauru, an island national to the Western Pacific. When Alexander the Great died, he was buried in a vat of honey. The praying mantis is the only insect that can turn its head. You can make it says you can make sorry, is it a number? Oh, you can make 11.5 omelettes with 1 ostrich egg. There are estimated, this is a lot, this is a big number. Yeah, estimated, ready? 508,000 tons of tea in China. The Queen and the Prince Philip at the time are 2nd, 3rd and 4th and 5th cousins. Ronald Reagan is the only US president to have performed in Las Vegas. American fact there for you. So, in the novel Frankenstein, the monster's name was actually Adam. Not Frankenstein, it was actually Adam. But it was changed on the films, which is mind-blowing. I didn't really need to realise that. Saint Adrian and Nicodemia, the patron saint of arm dealers. In 1955, a book was returned to Cambridge University that was due over 288 years. It was overdue, the book, and literally it still went into, yeah. American fact for you there. Hello there. Hi. Black bears accumulate around 1 million calories before they go into hibernation. Over 24 years, the space shuttle has blasted off 113 times, clocking up a total of 1,031 days in space. The odds of winning this year's world, well, this is back in 2006, this was. Yeah, the odds of winning the world's poker series for a £2 internet satellite someone bidded at 48,400,000. That was one of the biddings. That's a lot of money. Tip. This is an interesting tip. Clean a thermos by filling it with water and 4 Alka-Seltzer tablets, and it'll be clean within the hour. The bunker where Hitler committed suicide is now a car park. How random can you get? A tip. If the buttons keep falling off a shirt, which can be annoying, I'm sure some people get that. Sew them back on using thin fishing wire and they stay put there for years. Another tip: to avoid staining, spray plastic food containers with non-sticky cooking oil before pouring in tomato-based sauces. Interesting. Alpine attack helicopters fly around at a top speed of 180 miles per hour. And I have a picture for you to show. Let me show you the picture. I'm sure you like to see the picture of the helicopter. Pretty cool, right? People in Blackburn die 8 years earlier than people in any other parts of the UK. That's interesting. I wonder why. 83% of the Americans believe that using someone else's Wi-Fi is stealing. How random. Light travels across the universe. Are you ready for this? I'm going to say a whole number, bit by bit. 670-616-630.6 miles per hour. 8 rivets, no, 8 million, this is 8 million rivets were used on the Fourth Rail Bridge. There are almost 82,000 prisoners in England and Wales. That's a lot. On average, 6 wedding ceremonies are held at Fenway and the home of the at the home stadium of the Boston Red Sox baseball team. That's pretty interesting. Lip to a quarter of sand on shorelines can compose of plastic particles, really tiny ones. And this is really cool if you like spam, as in email spam. That's spam. The first spam email was sent on the 3rd of May 1978. The FBI, this is a really cool fact actually for America, the FBI was established in 1908. George W. Bush is the only US president to have completed a marathon. More than 1 million US soldiers has served in Iraq over the last 5 years. Addiction Clinic, the Priority, has reported that some phone users spend up to 7 hours a day texting. Technically, this is a really interesting one though, by the way. Technically, 1 horsepower is equal to moving 16 tons and 1 foot. There are estimated 1,100 bat species worldwide. Club Never Die is a virtual reality game European Union, and it's the most expensive project. It cost £50,000 to make. A Formula 1 fact for you now. An F1 car is made up of 80,000 parts. If you were to build the 99.9% correctly, it would start a race with 80 things wrong. Wu-Tang, as in hip hop band, Wu-Tang Clan, stands for witty, unpredictable talent. I bet you didn't know that. Around 1.6 million lie detector tests are conducted annually in the US. Here's a tip to find out how a fresher egg is. This is what you do. The older eggs, the higher it will float. So when you put the eggs in the water, it's got to be cold water. Look at a beaker or whatever you want to do to test it. If the egg floats to the top, don't eat it. It's got a lot of gas inside. If it sinks, that's a good egg. That's the one you should cook. There's a really old retro thing to say as a fact, but some people who've got these, some probably haven't. It's really retro. If your iPod Touch freezes, it's really interesting. Reset it by holding the sleep, wake and the home buttons at the same time. It's a bit like we do with our phones, really, isn't it? Nothing changes, is it? One last sheet for now, and then I will do some more next Monday. I'm going to show you something afterwards as well. The first service non-uniform to be given as a US patent was the Playboy bunny. And yes, I do have a picture. And yes, it's decent to show. And here it is. You see that? The Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, took 9 years to build. The odds of a US city with one basketball, football and baseball teams winning in championships is the same season are 2,000 to 1. The average human scalp has 200 hairs per square kilometre. Yeah. Can't say the freaking word right. Got my mouth. Just drink. Got my water. Got my Evian. Got my French drink. In 2007, there were 72 shark attacks worldwide. Well, I need to review a message actually. probably gone now. Someone's held for review. YouTube done that. I didn't do that. Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs are these things here. Tic Tacs are you see these things here? Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs. Like a minty. Some are minty, some have got strawberry, but mainly minty flavour. Tic Tacs are named after the sounds of the box makes when you open them. It kind of makes sense because it does make a tic tac sound because they shake. In 2007, 106 internet domain names sold for more than £50,000. There were 9,000, no, a bit more than that. There were 59,650 reported burglaries in London back in 2006. Since September 2001, there have been 20 attempts to register the name Ozma as a trademark. Worldwide, there are 4,554 known mammal species. American fact now, another cool one. 7 NFL players have gone on to hold executive office or become judges. That's quite a lot. Slugs. Well, you don't like, some of us don't like them, some do like them. But here's a cool fact about them. Slugs eat twice their body weight every day. Because sometimes you see a small slug, what's interesting, slugs get bigger during the evening. Bear that in mind. And when it rains, this is really weird. This happens in the UK. When it rains, as in heavy or whatever, snails like to come out and explore. You'll notice this if you go on walks or runs. Yes. So there'll be a lot of crunching. So if you decide to go in a garden while it's raining, it's not a good idea because there'll be snails. Can you imagine if you're camping? I've had that experience where I've been camping where it's raining and I've got up during the night and you can see all the snail trails and the slugs all over the tent. It's not nice to think about, really. But yes, that's what happens. During a chase, a cheetah will take 150 breaths per minute. The UK spends more on cosmetic surgery than Germany, France and Italy put together. I bet you didn't know that. India has a bill of rights for cows. The amount of crisps eaten each year in the UK would fill 56,000. Barca striker Samuel Eto'o was fined £8,500 for singing anti-Real Madrid songs after Barcelona won a leg of egg in 2005. God, what a fine back then. That must have been a lot of money back then. American fact for you, and it's a nice interesting one. Americans spend £500 million. They spend 500 million on home treadmills every year. A 10 Audi R8s are made a week. The waiting list is 2 years. So if you want one, it's 2 years. That's crazy though. There are 240,000 known species of fly. Can you imagine that? 240,000 different types of fly. Blows your mind, doesn't it? To think about how many there are. There are 210 English players in the Premiership. If you got a piece, this is a tip now, another interesting tip. If you got a piece of food stuck in your throat, right, try eating a banana. As you swallow, the soft bulk will help it clear the blockage. It's estimated there are only 520 suburban tigers left in the world, which is kind of sad to hear, really. Just 23.55 miles as a total of 31-mile length of the Channel Tunnel under the water. The Channel Tunnel is where it goes from England to France. That's the Channel Tunnel. It's a train underneath. Not in a way. It goes deep down the rut underneath, but and it takes an hour or 30 minutes. I think it's an hour or 30. I'm not sure if it's an hour or 30 minutes. It's been a while since I've been on there. But yeah, that's the Channel Tunnel. We also call it Eurostar. That's another thing we call it, Eurostar. Eurostar, Channel Tunnel. It's got lots of names. It's got lots of names. We'll be doing more facts next Monday when I've got the energy to do a bit more. But I want to share one interesting fact. America had the July the 4th independence from the UK. But also, it's not always mentioned, and it should be mentioned. Last tram week, London, July. I've got it here. London, July the 5th. I forgot the year. I should remember that. And I've got a model of the tram right here. What the tram actually looked like the actual tram, like the model of the tram, actually looked like the very last London tram. London still has trams in Croydon now, the modern version, but this is what the old tram looked like, and this is the tram. And now, because you can see it last London Tram Week, and this is the front of the tram. I'm not sure what it said actually, really. But yeah, this is the front of the tram. This is the side of the tram. And this is the back of the tram. And there were no safety precautions back then. And they had wires on the top. But when the wires were on the top for it to go out of London. When it was in London, they did a switch over. They brought this come up. Did you see this comes up? And then they brought it down. And then electric was underneath. And something interesting to tell you, the tram line is still there. It's literally underneath the roads of London. And another, so when you go in London, if you get some survey maps and work out where they are, they're actually under that. I've seen it. I've actually seen some. I'm going to try and get some pictures for you next time and show you. Also, the London Underground. Here's some cool facts about the London Underground. When you go on the London Underground and you have the white panels, you see all the white panels on each station. Apparently, they put that over the original, so that's not the actual size. Not the new stations. I'm talking about the stations that are not are not new. That's what they've done. And something really epic about the London Underground, not many people know, the roundels, as in the London Underground logo. You know, see the circle and the line, which is a red circle and blue, dark blue across, and the name of the station. They are made on the Isle of Wight. That's really right bottom south of England. Yes, they are made on the Isle of Wight. Not many people know that. The only way I found out was when I watched a history programme on the London Underground. But yeah, and most of the London Underground is above ground. And then also the London Underground, there's another network called Overground, which is a train on the main line, but it goes on the outskirts of London. It's like an outskirt thing. Yes. And another, did a few transport facts. There's a thing called the Superloop. London have a thing called, anybody knows this, watching they know, but the people that don't, this is it. There's a thing called a Superloop. So if you get SL1, that's Superloop number 1, you can literally work your way all the way round outside of London, right the way round and finish. So if you get one bus, connect the other bus, connect the other bus. Some of them you have to find, but yeah. I actually done it in one day. It took me, I started out early, quite early. 9 hours, I think it's 9 hours and 21 minutes, or 36 minutes, I can't remember, I've got a record somewhere. But I actually done it, but I did it a bit later in the morning. So I plan to get up earlier again and do the Superloop, but in the opposite direction. Instead of starting one direction and going round, I'm going to start in the opposite direction and go round. Because at one point you have to get the free ferry across the water. There's a free ferry in Woolwich. I think the bus terminates at the bottom, Woolwich Arsenal, which is at the bottom, and you have to walk up through the town, and then you have to get the ferry across, which doesn't cost a penny. It's free to cross. It's also a car ferry, a lorry ferry and all that. So if you've got transport, it's not going to cost you. It's just a fun, free thing to do. I might do a separate video on just on the ferry. Thank you for watching. I'll be back. I'll be live tomorrow. You bet that. I'm still waiting for the delivery on... I'll show you what I'm waiting on. I wait delivery on this to continue. I've only got 3 duplicates, so I'm giving them to my sister because she collects them as well. And at the moment I've got quite a lot of limited edition ones, and I've got quite a few golden ones. 2 gold, I think 2 gold. Yes, and I've got the USA team in there, and I've also got the England team. That's brilliant. I've got quite a lot of countries. But I'll be going through those tomorrow. I don't know what time tomorrow, because I don't know when the delivery is going to arrive. But yes, that's going to happen, and then that's going to be so epic. Thank you for watching. I'm glad I'm back doing all these lives. And once I've run out of the facts live, there'll be a fresh batch of funny and crazy facts. But that will be in due course. I will let you know near the time. Until next time, stay tuned. Don't forget tomorrow, the World Cup trading cards. If you miss it, you'll see a link anyway. Under the World Cup trading cards, but I don't know what time the delivery is, so I can't set up the live yet. If I knew, I would have set it up. Okay, until next time, have a good evening, have a good day, wherever you're from, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.